Hello, welcome to the class of PHP programming. So today we are going to discuss about how to run the PHP codes with the JavaScript code. So here we are embedding the JavaScript code in the PHP. So here first of all the PHP here is used to create the form, and here JavaScript is used to perform the client side validation. So it is to ensure that the data is as complete and correct as it is submitted. But here the final validation of the user information is done by the PHP. So here we are using the JavaScript, but JavaScript is only validating and correcting, but the final validation will be done by the PHP. So reason behind why we are not relying over the JavaScript for the complete input validation that is done by the user. So here the reason behind is that some of the users disable the JavaScript in their browser, or some of the browser doesn't support this JavaScript. So that's why we have to rely over the PHP for the complete validation of the user information. So as in earlier lecture we have discussed about how to validate the email address by using the filter function. Here we are using the another part where here we will use the JavaScript language for the validation and sanitization of this email address. So here first of all we'll start with the PHP code, and here we have used the email object, and by creating the email object I left it empty because it will pick the whichever we will enter the address in the browser, that will be kept by this email object. After that it will run this if else statement. So here we have created the isSet function to run this if else statement, and here we are creating the validate_email function. So there are many functions that are in this program. So first of all this validate function is used in JavaScript tag, and it itself call the other function that are associated with it. So as we will define here the validate function, it will call to the another function that is validate_email. So coming to the next part, here this is a PHP code. This is a HTML JavaScript section. So first of all it is starting with the script. So this script tag, that is opening tag and as well as the closing tag. So the code in between this opening and closing script tag representing the JavaScript code. So these are the functions that are associated with the JavaScript. So in JavaScript we define the function validate, and in it we added the parameter mail. So after in this we are calling to the fail object which is equal to the validate email function. So here it validating the email. If we are giving any of the address there, then it will return the true, and if we remaining that text box empty, then it will return to the false. And after that this validate_email, this is for validation of the email address. So if whatever we are entering in the text box, that will be validated. So if we will not enter any of these, then it will give us no email was entered. And if we are entering some of the data, then it will validate it. Like if we are entering dot sign, @sign, some alphanumeric key, then it will check whether this particular data is associated with the email address structure or not. So if the data that we have entered in the text box is similar to the email address structure, then it will return a true statement. But if it doesn't match the email address structure, then it will give a message that the email address is invalid. And after that to the body section that representing the HTML code. So here we have created the table that will represent the add email address, and after that we have created a form. Here we are using the method post, and this particular form will be posted to the index.php, that is the program itself. And after that we have using the onSubmit attribute. So here the onSubmit attribute is used to call when form is submitted, and it performs some checking and return a value either true or a false. And after that we are giving this parameter to the value. So here validate this, return validate this. In the here we are returning this parameter. So this parameter is the current object, and it is passed for the validating the function. So this is used to validate the function that we are using here in this script code. So coming to the next, here these are the PHP function. Here we are representing this PHP function to represent the complete validation. So as you can see here, these functions are similar as that of the JavaScript function, but here we are using this in the PHP code, and because the PHP is used as the that will done the complete validation, the final validation, that's why we are representing these codes in the PHP. So this is the complete program where I will using with starting with the PHP code first, and after defining its object that will represent the email, and then we add the script, that is the JavaScript code, and then the HTML that will represent the form, and again then the PHP function. So let's see how it will be displayed in the browser. For that you have to go to run project. So here it will represent this form that is showing that add email address, and here we have nothing is entered in this text box, so it's showing no email was entered. So if you will enter any of the address, like here I'm adding any of the random alphanumeric keys, and I'm clicking over to the sign up. So here it will show the error, the email address is invalid. So because it checked this particular information with this, that the $sign at the rate and this alphanumeric keys, so as these are not present in this random ticks, so that's why it's showing the error. Now I'm entering the valid email address, this one. So now I'm clicking over to the sign up. So here it shows the email address is successfully valid. This is the email address that we entered in the text box. So this is all about how to validate and sanitize the email address by using the JavaScript code with the PHP. Thank you.